Hey, let's go. Raider Nation, what's going on? Happy pre-day. Tomorrow we take on these 49ers. I'm excited. Football's back finally. Finally. Thank you guys for coming today. Let's see who we got today. Tony, let's go. Yes, sir. Salute. Yes, I cannot wait. Yeah, it's been a minute, man. It's been a rough off season, but you know, shout to the loyal, shout to the not weak at heart, because we are gonna move in a positive direction. So I don't know if you guys remember this little documentary. It was the BAM by any means 2016 2016 Raiders. Um, this is where we had some good players. This was like the last real competitive and kind of consistent team that we had. It's the Michael Crabtree, Donald Penn, Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, others too. I know I'm missing a lot of people too, but it was Charles Woodson's last year with us, Khalil Mack, Latavius Murray. We had a pretty potent offense. That's what I appreciated about this squad. The defense was pretty dominant too. I want to say that was the team that Bruce Irving and David Amerson, I think, was the DB. It was a very good, surprisingly good team. They just kind of clicked and really vibed, especially that offensive line. That was one of the best lines Derek had too. Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. Derek Carr was on that team. That was like, I definitely don't hate the guy, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that was his best year. That was one of his best performances. But like he had some great help though, because Michael Crabtree, like, I just give respect to what he did when he was with us. I don't really care about the Niner years or whatever, but I know when he came to us, I want to say he had 25 touchdowns. I want to say it was like 45 or 46 games he played. And he 232 catches, I believe it was. So he was pretty dominant. Like, I seen him make some great grabs, and one thing I kind of feel that we're vibing towards that kind of team. Of course, Devontae is light years ahead of Crabtree, but I mean, I'm just using that kind of as an example that we're kind of pretty much based on that. We're coming back. There was a big battle with the 49ers, so we're going to talk about Trey Lance is supposed to be the starter, was named starter. So basically, he's in a position where he is fighting for his life. He is, on the brink of being either traded, maybe, or just made a permanent backup because Purdy is, pretty much pushing him for that job. We'll talk a little bit more about Purdy in a little bit, but Trey Lance is in a position where it's kind of desperate mode for him. He has to show something, so he's going to be fighting. He's going to be out there trying to solidify a spot, like pretty much get a starting spot. You know, we had what we learned pretty much from our joint practices. We so in a long time we haven't had turnovers, like consistently. And in camp yesterday, I believe it was 8 turnovers, 7 or 8. We've been getting to the ball, and that's something that it's yes, it's camp, and yes, it's practice and stuff like that, but we're getting him. So at least we're I think every practice with them we got more turnovers. So I think it was 4 or something like that the first day, and then 7 to 8 the next day. So we're being dominant out there. That just has to continue. It has to translate to the regular season. But if we can get, and it's good we got these young guys, and they're getting coached the right way. They're getting, the veteran leadership of like the Marcus Epps, the Marcus Peters, the guys that have been there and do it. It's not just they're telling them stuff that they don't even do. These guys are, aggressive guys. They gamble, and so it's good to see that they're catching on and they're getting it. They're understanding. So we got a lot of good coaches. Like that. That have done this before, like Antonio Pierce, like is one of the respected linebackers for the Giants. He's been there, done that. Walks the walk. So it's good to hear from people that have done it. It's you can relate to the players because he's been in Super Bowls. He's played against Brady. You know what I'm saying? He's beat Brady. You know what I mean? Like, and it was that was a pretty stout defense, and the defense really got them that Super Bowl too, man, and a little luck too. That the catch was a little luck, but it happened. But they have to be dominant, man. They have to. It's like we have to see it. We have to see it coming because like people like Mahomes and the Russell Wilsons that have been there can extend the pocket and make plays. And that's where we have to be aggressive. We have to have a line that can get that pressure to that quarterback and force him to have to throw early. And that's where the gambles come in. Because if we can gamble at the right time, pick six. And that's what, we need those. Because that's those critical plays that change a game. It's not offense can't do everything. Defense has to help out too. And offense, defense can't do everything. Offense has to help too. They both have to help each other. So, real quick, we'll just touch on. I heard two different stories. It was a shin and it was a calf. So, whatever it is, it's not too serious. So that's a good thing. Uh, the first thing I seen, I think it was yesterday early, was the Devontae, injured and stuff like that. So, you automatically think ACL or, like something season ending or something like that. But, it's something minor. So that's a good thing. See, and that's what like I talked about a couple weeks ago, like just with my concerns for, like anywhere on the team, like offense or defense, stuff like that. Like on offense, like right now it looks great with Devontae Myers, Renfro, whoever's going to step up into those, 4, 5, 3, solid positions. But it's what if, things like this happen? Like say if this was severe, where would our season be if, he was to go out? Because, you always have to think ahead too. Because, I mean, that's how, like the 49ers, when Purdy went down in the playoffs, the backup quarterback, Josh Johnson, went down too. So, that's why they changed the rule about the having the extra quarterback, on the roster and everything like that. That doesn't count against your, I think, against the roster spot or whatever. And it's because you have to be prepared for everything, and it's like no one knew that they were going to get injured, but you have to, so I think that's where you have to be ready, man. You have to be ready for that opportunity, so there's another wide receiver that has to step up now, so we're going to see who's going to rise to the top. Because I mean, this is a chance, because Devontae, they're probably going to rest him for a while and keep him out for the rest of the preseason. So, if they do that, then someone has to take that spot. So who's his backup? Who's going to step into that spot and who's going to shine? Like who's going to take their opportunity? Because everything happens for a reason. If you're blessed with the opportunity, it's on you for what you do with it. So, one thing I did like about this camp was the Jimmy versus Purdy matchup, the joint practices, and Jimmy G and the offense are gaining their sharpness. We were a little worried about the turnovers and everything like that we heard about in camp, but I think Jimmy's a like a real game type of person. Like, not like a, practice, because, practice is where you work on the skills, you work on your, getting sharp, working on just different, working the routes, the just in cases, like what if this happens? Okay, well, if this happens, I'm gonna do this, or just look for me. If this is a no go, then when I go like this, I'm going. It's like they'll have different signs and stuff like that where they communicate with each other. So that's kind of what they're getting down now. So of course it's going to be rough, like in the first couple of days, because no one knows, like just that chemistry. Because see, that's the thing about practice. Like, yeah, practice goes perfect. Everything that, you know, that's why it's kind of good to play other teams, because when you play other teams, you see stuff that you don't see every day in practice. That's why practice doesn't really matter. That's why, like, our offense, our quarterback of previous times, look great in practice, and we always say, okay, that's gonna translate to the game. But when you play a good defense that blitzes well, or just knows how to frustrate the quarterback, that's where you get either better or you get exposed. So you know speaking of exposed, Purdy, it's kind of the same thing like the Jimmy thing. They're both kind of working their way back. Purdy from the arm injury, and then Jimmy, from the foot. So uh, Jimmy, I think, has an advantage because he's had some time to kind of get his going. Purdy's in a position where he's probably trying to get in as soon as possible because he knows he has the spot. I believe that's just my opinion. If he was 100% healthy, that would be his spot. So, being that he's injured, he has to kind of work a little extra hard right now to, try to keep that spot. And he knows Trey right now is healthier, so he's a threat. So I mean, it's healthy competition, but they are both fighting for their spot. So another thing was the camp turnovers. Can it keep going in the regular season? Being aggressive, like our let me see. We have the corners. Like there's a couple players that I kind of want to see. Um, these are the players that I kind of personally want to see. I forgot about Malcolm Kuntz too, but key players to watch. I want to see Chris Smith the second. I want to see Duke Shelley, David Long. I want to see Meek, and of course, I want to see Malcolm Kuntz. So our starters, for the most part, at every position, we don't really have to worry about. We don't have to worry about the Maxes. We don't have to worry about the Chandlers. We don't have to worry about the Spillanes. We don't have to worry about the Epps. We don't have to worry about the Peters. But what we do have to worry about is their backup and their others. Like the DTs. Like until that gets locked down, until we know who our solid guys are. And it's not our big name stars, or whatever you want to call them, that we need to do well. It's the guys that back them up and the guys in between them. So not the starter, I mean not the first guy, but the second guy, the third guy. We need these guys. So like Chris Smith was here to pretty much plug the hole that you could say Jonathan Abram was supposed to fill. Duke Shelley, could be a solid three. Hopefully, we at first we were thinking maybe two. Um, and then David Long, I've been hearing he's been doing good in camp. So let's see how, because they're probably going to test them all in this game. So, and Amik, I'm pretty sure will be out there too, because he's fighting for a spot too. There's some people competing, but I definitely want to see how these guys do. Duke Shelley, because I mean, I'm pretty sure we had him. When they signed him, he was intended on being either I say the third or second or something like that. So I just want to see who rises to the top, who earns their spot. Like shout to Nesta Silvera. I hear he's been doing good in camp. I just hope if he stays healthy, he's going to be a great player. That's the positive about that guy, man. He has quick feet. I love his burst because by the time you figure out, oh, he's coming, it's hard for them to adjust, man. He's always got him sideways. That's what it's crazy. And I definitely want to see him do well. Shout to him coming on the show. Blessing the platform. But yeah, I've been hearing his name a lot in practice and everything like that. So, I hope he definitely gets to earn a spot here. Definitely. Let me see. Let's see what's going on with the chat, man. D Menace salute. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we definitely got to run that ball. See, we don't know. We don't know really who. Kind of. We haven't really seen much from the guys that are in camp now. So I think that's what the Damian Williams signing and everything was. I feel that he's a vet. He's I know he's a chief and all that, but I'm just looking about what he can do kind of for our team. He's here now, so and I think the signing wasn't really for nothing because I feel like he was dominant when they won that Super Bowl. Like he was actually one of the reasons they run. He ran hard. It seemed like he was always open in the flat. Um, he he's I'm pretty sure he's a good blocking back too because I've seen him a lot. On those third down plays, it was usually him. So third down is usually a passing down. But it's good to see we get someone a vet, someone that has experience because he's been in Super Bowls, he's been in all kind of people have been gunning for the Chiefs for a long time, just like we are, and yes, we are. And so we are deep at almost every position. Yes, finally, 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 finally. Like we're getting, like shout to them for drafting smart players. Uh, I said this. I think that was, you know, the guys are grasping what the coaches are putting down. So that's what we need. That's what like the previous guys that the last regime and everything was drafting. These guys just weren't getting it, or it was injuries. They were getting injured out for the season. So at least they're doing smarter. They really should. I always said they should extend the practice squad. Because I mean it's not because if it's a money thing, like it's they don't really get paid that much. You know what I'm saying? So like it's they have the money. They should really pay them, man. Because it's if they talk about making the game safer and everything like that. So I think that's where they're trying to skimp. They're trying to save money wherever they can. But if they really care about the players, they would really add depth because that's what you know. I mean, I don't think the 49ers would have won anyway. That's my personal opinion. But injuries knocked them out. But I feel like they would have lost there anyway. With Purdy or not. So but it's always good to have depth, man, because like the thing with like Devontae, that shook us all up because we're like, oh, here we go, because it's just the kind of Raider way to right before the season, of course, right before the game, then this kind of stuff happens. So it's like, oh, here we go. But thank God it's nothing serious. Let me see. Thank you, Henrietta Yazzie. Thank you. I'm new to the Raider Nation family. Welcome to Raider Nation. Well, Henrietta, no worries. Raider Nation's got you back. We got you. It's like a big family. Always. They might not try during a game, so I wasn't. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, cause that teaching them the aggression. So think about that. They're gonna, cause you already got a Meek, you got Hobbs that are already like aggressive types, and so if you're teaching these young guys just to don't be scared, like no hesitation, like, but that's the thing. My worry later on is that once teams adjust to how we start being aggressive, they're gonna start the double moves. They're gonna start like the hesitation. So it's going to be good in the beginning, but we have to just be ready for that adjustment. We have to be patient but aggressive, and just keep getting after it. That line is going to be a monster. So just we're getting bigger, we're bulking up. Oh man, Guys, we just got blessed. We just got blessed. Let's see.
All
Let's see.
right, mic check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Mic check, loud and clear. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, recognition chasing.
Man, salute.
For being like it's been like it for a minute, but I gotta tell you, when it comes to Las Vegas Raiders versus San Francisco 49ers, I mean, the cornerback room is gonna be full stack between Marcus Peters. Also, they had linebacker with Robert Spillane, Devon Diablo. Also, they got Luke Masterson. But in the case of Marcus Peters, I think he should be like a starter cornerback because he got brought a lot of experience. He's a veteran, and of course, he got that speed, elasticity. I mean, he could be like the starter at the cornerback because we need so much help, including for the secondary team and those special teams. And with Robert Spillane, I think he's a monster, includes for Devon Diablo, because I know for a fact, because at the first season that we just saw Devon Diablo, he was really nervous, but he was getting like a flexibility, and of course, he was very polished in that position of linebacker. But I think for the positions of linebacker and cornerback room, I think it's gonna be full stack of great defense.
Definitely so, man. I like Spillane. Like, I don't know if you've ever had that teammate that's always, like, come on, pushing, trying to push you and coach you up as you're, playing, but you can't really deny it because he works his butt off and you see the results. So, I hear he's really pumping his guys up. Yeah, he's talking to them, like every play, he's, hey, so in this play, get up, don't hesitate, don't be scared, don't like trust your eyes, trust what you see, so that's good that we have someone that's talking to our guys and he's seeing, he's not only, it's not being selfish, it's being a good teammate. It's like not just being about yourself but helping others get better, because if you see something, say something, what I'm saying, like that's a good teammate. Yeah, it's definitely going to be good to see.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And for the situation of the running back, because they just had Damian Williams. I mean, that guy has a really good experience. But for me, when Josh Jacobs is not here in the practice or the running back, I mean, this is gonna be like a battle between Damian Williams. Also, they got Bennett, and they got Samir White. I mean, Samir White, he's really good, but he needs to improve about his vision. He needs to improve about his vision on the field. But I think the Samir White is gonna be like, I know he's been like a jumping, or he's kind of like a crumbly of this season of the 2021. I mean, what can happen like this one? I mean, if he can improve about his vision style, I mean, that would be really good help as a running back.
Definitely, like the one thing, so like Zamir is kind of like that power back, like he's going to be that bruiser. And then so when it comes to our like a speedy back, because I'm a speedy back type, you know what I mean, I like the Chris Johnsons, the like the what Reggie Bush I wish would have been, what I'm saying, like those shifty backs, man, like the big backs, it's hard for them to get through holes, like, and it's, yeah, like the Derrick Henrys, you know what I mean, but he has to build up that steam, you know what I mean, like it takes him a while to build up that unstoppable steam. But I like those quick backs because as the games wear on, like those linemen get tired, you know what I mean? So they're not going to be able to keep chasing. So it's like you have your setup guys, you got those
Yeah, yeah.
bruisers, you know what I mean? Like, and so Damian Williams is like a solid catching, receiving back. So he's kind of what we don't really have yet. And I guess maybe they see something at camp that, maybe we don't have the guy that's going to be consistent. So I think that's why they kind of signed a vet like Damian.
Yeah, that's exactly. But I was thinking a lot about for the defense. I
Mhm.
mean, if you can put like the whole defense, because last year the defense it didn't very well. But I think that season is gonna be like a really improvement. I mean, we got Jimmy Garoppolo who understands better with this system of Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler. I mean, he got at the anything. And for me, I will say this: Jimmy Garoppolo could start the week number one against Denver Broncos, and for the preseason, I think just leave it to the young people like Aiden O'Connor for Purdue. I mean, he's got really talent and he can be like a solid pass and everything. I mean, for that preseason, just leave it to Aiden O'Connor to see how really he can prove about that season. And of course, for the regular season, I think that the quarterback number one is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. Also, they got Aiden O'Connor. I mean, this is going to be like the battles between everything could happen like this one. I mean, that defense for that season, I mean, is gonna be a really improved. If we got so many options, like if Michael Mayer could really had a great rookie season as a tight end, Devon Diablo, also the linebacker and the cornerback position is gonna be fully stacked of real improvement of speed, athleticity, and if Jimmy Garoppolo is gonna help for everything. I mean, the Raiders is going to be like at the top 10 defense. It's not going to be easy at all. I mean, if we had all those weapons, if we got all those weapons in defense, the offense, that that we probably gonna crushing down the competition. I mean, they got for Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Chargers, and for Denver Broncos. I think it's gonna be like an opportunity. It's not gonna be easy to sweep the whole conference, but I'll keep it fade because right now we had to worry about the defense, and of course we had to have the persistence about the defense and the offense.
Yeah, like I feel like from the first level, I feel like our defensive line is gonna be a beast. Because I mean that imagine Russ. I feel bad for you, my boy. Because we got a big D. We got some big guys coming towards you, bro. You know what I mean? Because it's we already got the edge. We got Chandler looking slim. They say he's faster, and like we don't really have to worry about Chandler Jones like kind of getting smaller because that dude is strong, man. Like he
Yeah,
is like abnormally strong. Like, and it's like he is gonna be fine. And like with him being quicker, so imagine just two, Max coming, him coming, hopefully Nesta pushing up that middle, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we get into those guys. And then like we got guys we're teaching them. Jump that ball, you know what I'm saying? Take that ball. So if we're getting to them, it's the perfect formula. This defense is gonna be a monster. So, you know.
yeah, exactly. And one more thing, because right now I had to jump off because right now it's very sunny outside because right now I'm the East Coast. But I gotta tell you something. The leadership of the Raiders, it's not about Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not Devontae Adams. It's Max Crosby, who leading up for the leadership of the Raiders because he got that game mentality and he got the beast mode as a defensive rusher. I mean, if you got Max Crosby, Chandler Jones, and Tyree Wilson, boy, the defensive edge room is gonna be fully loaded with great weapons. I mean, this could be happening for making or break it. And of course, I just wanted to tell you that I'm Red Nation chasing. Always much love and respect from El Capitan Rafael. And of course, thank you very much for these birthday wishes because my birthday was on August 9th. But thank you very much. And of course, I just wanted to say Red Nation for life and salute to everybody else. El Capitan Rafael se despide, and I will see you there in its time. And of course, it's always a pleasure. What can I say about it? And my prediction for the Raiders versus 49ers: Raiders 38, San Francisco 49ers 20. And for the regular season, I would say Raiders 12 wins, 5 losses. We had a chance to go to the playoffs.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you, Rafa. I appreciate you blessing the platform, my brother. Appreciate you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm definitely excited, man. Like, so I hope they don't even get 20. But yeah, I'm excited for the game, man. It's definitely going to be exciting. It's fun. They one thing I heard that the 49ers didn't look as energetic. They said we looked a little bit more passionate, that we were kind of playing a little bit more together, communicating. So that means that we're gelling. So, oh yeah, no worries, my brother. Yep, like it's we're gelling, we're it's whatever the coaches are teaching these guys, they're understanding it. So like the first year was kind of them trying to understand the basics of the scheme. So of course they were hesitant. So now 2 years in, you can kind of take a step forward and you can start, trusting your eyes, trusting what you see, and making those decisions on based on what you've already experienced, what you've already seen. I mean, as much as I hate KC and the 49ers, I would definitely take. Sorry about that. I had something pop up. Okay, hey Siri, stop. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. As much as I dislike the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, I feel like they are a good opportunity for us to see, good offensive schemes, and it just shows us stuff that we don't see, from other teams. And that's how we get better. Like it's like the thing with practice. Like yeah, we're good against our our own guys and stuff like that, but when we play another team that does something different than what we do, it seems like we get lost. So that's why I want to see it all. I want to see different schemes, different offenses, different defenses for sure. Because our players have to have that experience, and the best way to get experience is in live game. Because I mean, you could talk about it in a practice all day, but until you're in that live situation where it's on the line and it matters, you know. So, oh yeah. I can't wait. See, I live in the city, so I kind of work the system because they're gonna for sure show their game. So you know, I definitely get to see it. I'm off tomorrow too. Um, Definitely excited for the game. Is there any matchups if you guys want to holler in the chat? Like any matchups you guys want to see? Like any players that you guys want to kind of see get their opportunity to step up? Like wide receiver. Like I want to know who's gonna step up right now. Who's gonna shine? Who's gonna grab the position by the horns? Because Myers, we know for sure, but I mean we don't want to make Myers our number one. You know what I mean? We want him to be a solid number two. We don't want to force Renfro to be a number two, or you know, hopefully Sims, man. Like I hope Sims can learn something. Like maybe Devontae could coach him up and try to get him to be that guy. Just to kind of step up, and it will be a good opportunity. Because the more game, the more game you get, the better. Like the more opportunity you get. So we're gonna see him too. We're gonna see him tomorrow too, going against that trash team tomorrow. Yep, not thinking, man, because like in the end of the day, it's football. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a game that we have all loved and played for years. It's football. It's like you can't make it. Can't like it's like in basketball. When you think before you shoot, you're I don't want to miss this or whatever. You just gotta shoot. You know, you gotta shoot. You gotta take the opportunity. And just have confidence in yourself. Because I mean, you got drafted, or some guys that are undrafted, but someone took a chance on you. So I mean, after that, you're devoted to the franchise that took a chance on you, and you're devoted to yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? Because both work together. You have to do your job to provide for your family. You know what I mean? So a lot of us don't get the opportunity, to be where these guys are at. You know what I'm saying? Like I would have been a bomb fullback. You know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't in the cards. But you know what I'm saying? But it's that's why like I appreciate these guys, man, that get drafted because their life changes. Because some people go through the struggle, like life growing up, and for some, the only opportunity you have to get out of your situation is through the football field, So I respect people that carry their communities, their families, their cities on their back. You know what I mean? Shout out to those folks that, man, that really, you know what I'm saying? Like, because for some families, that one athlete can be all that they have. You know what I'm saying? Like to get out of a bad situation, because everybody in a bad situation isn't a bad person. You know, like sometimes that people are blessed through their talents. Yep, all eyes on Tyree Wilson. And the thing about the Tyree Wilson thing, um, the so for everybody, it's probably going to be the Jalen Carter, because if basically if the situation doesn't work out, everyone's going to be like, we should have took Jalen Carter, and he's been doing good in camp. I hear, you know what I'm saying. So like Tyree, we need to be, but see the thing with Tyree though, we really don't really need him this year, because he is really a luxury, because he's kind of like that kind of back burner, because once Chandler kind of phases out, Tyree should be at that position to take that spot fully, but the money, see the thing about it, it's not saying that Tyree's better, Chandler's better, whatever. It's the money factor. Like at the bottom line, it's the bottom line. It's the money factor that Chandler is not cheap to trade or get rid of, or so we have to use him for this year, and possibly hopefully we can work something out for next year contract wise. But our development with Tyree Wilson, it really is to get him ready, because why force it, because he's not going to be the starter. Chandler's got that spot locked up unless he gets injured or whatever, but let's just hope he stays healthy. But we want to develop him a little slowly. Like if he doesn't play this year, I'm not mad, because I feel like he's for the future. You know what I mean? Like all our moves are pretty much for the future. Like we've got a lot of people that were coming off the injuries, the Byron Youngs, that we pretty much got for a, pretty much because of like past injury and stuff like that, they slid to us. So but the Jalen Carter thing, like, because that's the thing. Like, if this doesn't work out, in all honesty, it would be another first round pick that we kind of could have went a different direction. And there's nothing wrong with. I mean, well, there's something wrong with it, but I mean, no one knows what these people are gonna do until they get to the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, Reggie Bush was one of my favorite players in college I seen just in that time. I mean, just to watch, it was crazy. Just how fast he was, how powerful he was, and just he could beat you all over the field. And like I'm pretty sure the Saints thought that's the guy that they were gonna get, and he got to the NFL, and he won a Super Bowl, but he didn't have the success that people expected him to have. Because you never know. Like people get to the NFL and it's a whole different game. Like people are bigger, people are stronger, people are faster. So it's the holes aren't as big as they are in college. That's why you see a lot of college scores 63-7 and all these high scores, because it's like you know, I'm not saying the defense isn't good, but it's like offensively dominated. Let's see. O line, D line. Yes. Yeah, I've definitely, because we've been hearing the whispers of Sincere McCormick, and I'm really curious about the so we're gonna probably see McClendon, Wagner. I want to see them, but then at the same time, I hope they make our roster, because if someone sees them and they're on our practice squad, if they say if they have somebody injured or something like that, if they sign someone to their practice, or from our practice squad to their I think regular roster, then they can do that. So I kind of don't want these guys to get snatched up, because there's some big dudes, and we need that just in case like someone on the line goes down. We have a solid piece to back them up. Um, the D line too. I want to see like just because like when you watch games, you see players stick out. You see somebody flying around. You see somebody like, damn, he's getting that push. Like I want to see that. I want to see that push on that D line. I want to see them forcing that QB out of that pocket. Um, the young RBs that I want to see, I would say Sincere McCormick. I think Britton Brown's down, Walters down, or Waters is down. Um, so we're gonna see, Amir. Um, I want to see. I guess, really Sincere because I've been hearing. I just want to see what he's about. Just on the NFL level, to see kind of how he can help. Damian Williams is probably gonna play too. So let him get his legs under him and let him just get back in that shape. Let me see the line. I like the DBs too. I definitely want to see our DBs like because they're fighting for their lives too. Because Meeks. See, Meek, I feel like he's gonna be a special teams player. Like he's gonna automatically make the roster just off his experience and cheap contract. I think we could protect 4 players on the practice squad from getting. Yeah, I hope it's McClendon, Wagner, um, Adam Plant. Ooh, excuse me. And I want to say who's the other guy? I forget right now, but that would be my 3 or 4. Yeah, definitely hope so. Yeah, because that's what happened to, I don't know if you guys remember Morrison from he was one of our centers and they got him I think Seattle snatched him. But our linebacker unit too, I want to see because they're gonna be running the ball like their coaches are gonna talk to each other. They're gonna be like, hey, we want to see what this guy, how this guy can handle press, or like take this guy deep, see how he responds, because it's like preseason doesn't mean any. I mean, it does. It means something to the players more than it means to kind of I guess the team really, because these these wins don't really count. So there's a lot of risk. There's injuries and stuff that could happen. That could I've seen people get injured in preseason, out for the season. Ruins the whole vibe because it's momentum. It's you want to build that momentum going into the season. That's why it's good to hear Jimmy's doing good, that he's getting into that zone. And that's what it is. Some people are just gamers, man. Like some people are, some people can stick to a script, but some people just have to get in that game, and it's just like once you kind of get going, you start vibing, and you haven't heard any drama. Like we haven't heard like fights and stuff like that within our squad, so that's good. They're it's healthy competition. Healthy competition. Definitely so, man. I appreciate you guys, man, for coming through. It's we'll be like this every week. It's just getting ready, man. Like our team is better than yours. That's the vibe. Um, but yeah, it was. I guess it was good getting in there with them. Because a lot of people respect their offense, respect their defense. So it's good to see, like I said, the schemes and stuff like that. Like some, I forgot who said this, but it was like even the workouts and even the drills. Like you see different drills that other teams are doing. Like, oh, okay, yeah, let's add that to our. Because I mean, you should never be too good to add greatness to your game. You know what I mean? Like you can never be, you can never learn too much. You know what I'm saying? Like you should always be open and never arrogant to taking in new information. You know what I'm saying? Because you always want to get better. Like, Max Crosby was talking about how he was talking with he texts and calls Nick Bosa, and they're really good friends, and they always watch each other's games, they watch each other play, they watch each other, and they talk to each other about their moves and like, what were you thinking on this play, and like I seen you do this, like what was going through your mind, why, and then It's all about getting better because like arrogant players that think they're better than everybody and that no one's on their level and stuff like that, you never get better. You're going to stay where you're at because you're not, you kind of vibe off other people. Like, sometimes like, in the morning, sometimes like, you're not feeling it. Like, sometimes I go to the gym like, and some days I'm not feeling it, but I go and then you see those people that are like hopping around. Some days are like that too, but it's just that attitude, man. And it's contagious. If you see somebody being positive, it rubs off on you. Like just like sometimes when someone's negative around you, kind of it will, it kind of does the same thing. So, it's always good to have teammates that are always inspiring you and working towards that same goal. So, it's good to see, that our team is vibing. So, but only time will tell, you know. Talking never gets it done. That's how we play. But thank you guys, man, for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And let's beat these Niners. I cannot wait because, you just want to see some ball because this is where we're going to learn. We're going to learn who we are, what we are. It's going to show us, because, of course, there's going to be injuries. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're getting all this stuff out the way. And just because injuries happen, we always see it as a negative. But the cream has to rise to the top. So, with that being said, beat SF.